Hi, so my name is Kavya Mishra, and I did my graduation in BCom honors from the Delhi University. Post which I joined University XIMB for my MBA in the course called Business Management. When it comes to entering the BFSI sector, it was mainly because of the subjects that I got to learn during my graduation. BCom honors was a lot about accounting, finance, marketing, HR. Basically, it covered everything, which helped me in choosing my top two favorite subjects, which were eventually the domains that I would be working in. So, my top two were finance and marketing. So when I was entering this sector, I did not have much knowledge about finance. I thought that it is a field which is full of numbers. And I wanted to have some clarity about what exactly finance is and how does this sector exactly work. And I did realize that some of the things were my misconception, which got cleared when I started working as a portfolio manager in my company. And of course, there are a few roles which are full of numbers, but not every role in finance is about numbers. Some are about your understanding of finance and how you deal with it and if you like it or not. So, the competencies, honestly, that I wanted to acquire weren't anything specific because I don't believe that you can learn anything new and be a professional in that in about 2 months. It is a very short time for that, but you do get to have a lot of clarity on what all are your options ahead in future. What are you working on? Do you even like it, or you don't like it and you want to maybe switch the domains? So these were a few things that I learned and got cleared in my mind while I was working in the sector. My workday luckily was very nice because the company was very easygoing and they were very employee friendly. So they left it all on me that I was asked to work according to my convenience. So I would go and I would sit with people and I would ask them questions for like the first 4 weeks, which is like 1 month. I was given training daily, and for the next month, which was like my last month, I was given a project, and my project was related to the portfolio management stream only. So there is this process that they do manually using Excel, and I was asked maybe enhance and make a portal out of the internet through my skills and everything to make this process easier for the people who are using and dealing with the portfolio management things. So I basically automated that process via making a portal for them. And so the process that they used to do manually typing things out and entering data in Excel was now like a one click thing.
Hi, my name is Chirag Haswani, and I interned at Wells Fargo. And during my time at Wells, I was aligned with CBG team, which stands for Corporate Banking Group, and I was aligned with the Financial Institution Group at that point of time. The project I was working on for my internship, so it was a credit assessment of a asset management company based out of United States. So that was the project I worked on. And prior to my MBA, I was working with ICICI Bank in the wealth management segment. And talking about my background, I come from a accounting and finance background. I did my graduation from Nasimunji College, Mumbai. Talking about the obstacles I faced during the internship, I would say again, as I mentioned, that you had to work on Excel and PowerPoint day in, day out. So these were not something that you are very conscious of, because in college you just get done with your presentations as fast as you can and you just don't care about the formatting or anything. You just try to make it presentable and that's it. But when you work and you are working where you are in a professional environment, then I would say you have to make sure that everything is right and you cannot just send it to your senior as well. So in that sense, I think it was a problem initially because, as I mentioned, I come from a sales background, so we did not really have to work too much on these PPTs and Excel files. So you had to get used to all these applications as well, and you have to be really sure that everything is on point. So I think that is one major obstacle initially that I faced, but then as time went on, I think I was able to overcome that as well. Curriculum at XIMB. So in the first year, there's not much that you learn that would help you in your internship, particularly in my role, because the kind of work that we do, it's not really. I would say that we do not learn a lot of concepts in the concepts in the first year. It's later in the second year that you have subjects like valuation and investment banking and security and portfolio management, where you learn all the concepts that are used in investment banking. But yes, there were a few concepts like time value of money, or in the second term you have financial management. So there were a few concepts that I think did help me. But apart from that, the compendiums shared by XFIN, I think those were the stuff that really helped me excel in the interview firstly, and then in my internship as well.
Hi everyone, I am Saksham Baveja. I did my post-graduation from XIM Bhubaneswar batch of 22-24. So prior to joining XIM, I did my undergraduation from Bhopal School of Social Sciences in the field of accounting and finance. And post that, I have 6 months of work ex with KPMG. Right now, I am working with Wells Fargo as a corporate and investment banking analyst. Like I previously mentioned, there are a lot of things that you learn only once you step into the field of finance. And, it is something that I wanted to pursue. And I have a very strong inclination towards finance. So even though I am working in a finance company, but there are a lot of things you learn as in you grow. I think my internship was very wholesome in terms of the range of spectrum of things I explored. Like there are investment banking is a very big industry, and there are multiple domains inside investment banking itself. Like there is a product side and coverage side, and in coverage side there are different sectors. In product side there are different job roles like mergers and acquisition, corporate finance, sustainable finance, capital markets. Under capital markets, it's equity capital markets, debt capital markets, leverage syndication, and high yield bonds. So that's how diverse the industry is. And once you enter the industry, you will realize that you need to explore a lot of things. And once that is done, you can make an informed decision like where you want to navigate in your career. So I think that really helps. Given that I did my undergraduation in accounting and finance, it was a natural choice for me to go for finance. It's because, I found that field very interesting, and you need to analyze. I mean, it's not something that the things, information will be in front of you, but sometimes you can't see it. So in finance, you need to look at the financial statements and you need to interpret what sense you can make out of it, and then communicate the same in such a manner that it is beneficial for the stakeholders as well as for the company. Now the key skill that you develop once you enter the field of finance is your attention to detail, because day in and day out you go through the financial statements of the company, you identifying what numbers are somewhat outliers and what numbers doesn't add up. So you develop a very strong analytical mindset, like how are numbers misjudged and how numbers can be manipulated, because in finance there is a lot of role of estimation. So when there is a estimation or judgment involved from the management side, then they can tweak the numbers in their favor, and as an analyst your role is to identify if there is something which doesn't adds up. So I think that skill you develop in the initial phase of your career, and going forward, you only get better at it.
Okay, so I would say there are two kinds of students. First, who are very sure that they want to enter the BFSI sector. Well, great for them, because they already have the prerequisite knowledge that is, required. And that is why they're very sure that, okay, this is the sector I love and I'm going to work in that. So great for them. I'm already telling that it is very fun, very interesting, and it looks like it's very boring from the outside, because like I said, people have a general misconception, but then it's not like that. And for the people who don't know if this sector is for them or not, I would say pick your top two, like I did. And if finance is one of the two, you can use these 2 months as like your summer internship time to experiment and realize if this sector is made for you. You need to, keep your understanding aside and maybe start from scratch and try to understand and work and see if you like it, then great. And if you don't, then also great, because you have many other options to go to. You can go into marketing or operations, systems, whatever. So when it comes to summer internship, I would really suggest people to use it as a time to experiment between their likes and dislikes and discover that what are the things they want to do in life. You will get a lot of clarity once you join a company and you get to see how it works. You will have much, much, much more knowledge about the same domain than you had before. So I would say experiment.
I would just say that if you want to get into investment banking, then you have to be really sure that you want to get in there. Firstly, because it's not an easy job; it's a tedious job. Because even I had that, what do you call it? It used to pull me towards itself. It was a very attractive option always, because when you hear about investment banking, you always think that it's a very high paying job and you just keep traveling here and there. So that is true, but that also comes along with a lot of work, and there are times when you do not even get to spend time with your family. That is one, and secondly, you do not do not get time for yourself as well, because there are days when you have to work even on Sundays or Saturdays, so you do not get even a weekend. So that is first. So these are things that you face in front end investment banking. So the kind of role I am in, so this is a middle office kind of a role, and here the work that you are doing, it mainly involves dealing with bankers in the front end who are based out of United States. So it's not as difficult, but then again, you will have to put in the hard yards in this field as well. So yes, you will have to be really sure that you want to get into this field. Secondly, you have to ensure that the your basics are completely solid, because a lot of times you will be told to do things and the person on the opposite end won't explain how to do it. And at that point of time, you have to use your own whatever you have learned during your college. And the all the stuff that you do, most of it is taught in MBA. So in the second year, as I mentioned, you have subjects like VIB and SAPM. So all the concepts would be taught to you. You just have to be sure that you understand them properly, because you will have to apply them in real life as well. It's not that whatever you learn, you won't have to apply it anywhere. Those are skills that you have to directly apply in your job.
All the people who are joining MBA this year, I would say that, the course that is offered by the university is very much structured when it comes to finance. Like as I mentioned previously, the courses are linked to each other. So you learn one thing, jump to other, and then other. It works like that. And apart from that, what you learn in the classroom is not sufficient, because investment banking interviews, or the, let's say, finance interviews in general, they don't look at how much you know about finance, but other things as well, like your communication skills, your attention to detail, your overall personality. So you need to work on those things as well. So once you enter the college, it's equally important to polish those skills as well. And you need to read a lot. You need to read newspapers, and you need to work on yourself. Basically, that would help you in the long run.